Hey there, YouTubers, fellow Kawasaki KLR 650 owners. This is a 2008 KLR 650, and it's had a few recalls on it. This particular recall I wanted to do a video about because it only takes a few minutes to fix. If you want to spend 2 hours taking it back to the dealer and letting them goof around with it and screw it up on you, that's great, but you can do it yourself in about 5 minutes. This bike has been taken apart for the electrical problem. The electrical recall that is a potential problem. Both these recalls, the electrical recall as well as the muffler recall, absolutely have a 100% failure rate. They are going to fail. It's just a question of how many miles you're going to put on your bike before they fail. So the muffler recall is particularly important because the muffler can fall down in the rear wheel, lock the rear wheel up, and you do a face plant. This recall is very simple to do yourself. All you got to do is take only the side panel off, and I have all the other panels off to do the electrical stuff. I'll do a video on that later, but this particular thing, you're going to need an 8mm socket and a 12mm socket. What you're going to want to do is take this side plate off here, 8mm bolt there and there. You pull that side panel off, and that exposes the culprit bolts. And let's see if we can get in closer here. First bolt is right here. Second bolt is right here. You can see where the white paint lined up from the factory installation. There and there. Now the torque has been increased on these bolts. The factory technical service bulletin says to increase the torque from 18 foot-pounds to 25 foot-pounds. You can do it two ways. You can do it the cheap and dirty Kawasaki way, or you can do it the right way. You want to do it the right way, you back this bolt out. You don't even have to fully remove it, but you back the bolt out, apply some blue Permatex Loctite, and spin the bolt back down. As you can see, at 25 foot-pounds, I got another quarter turn out of the bolt. Over here, got another eighth of a turn out of the bolt. To get them down to 25 foot-pounds. That secures the muffler so that it doesn't fall off the bike and go down into the spokes. Additionally, goes without saying, you got the side plate off, clean your air cleaner. Over here, this bolt here, stainless steel bolt, same situation. You want to take that bolt right there and crank that up. You want to put some Permatex on it, and you want to crank it up to 25 foot-pounds. There is another bolt underneath here, which is an Allen head bolt. Right underneath there. Normally that one's not a problem, but I don't have a torque wrench. You give that one an oomph or two. But those are the four bolts. The two muffler bolts are the most important ones. I had a leaking exhaust gasket up here, so I put in an extension up underneath here. You can get at it without taking any of this stuff off. You can put the extension right up here and crank these two bolts up here down to 25 foot-pounds, which will, in my case, quieted it right down. It leaked when it was cold. When it warmed up, it was fine. So not a big deal. That is the situation. For this, you'll definitely want to do this modification. If you're not handy with a wrench, I would suggest you would get it to a Kawasaki dealer. It's pretty simple. I doubt even they could screw this up. It's something you really need to do, though. It's a very important safety issue. I'll be doing a video later on the electrical recall. That's quite a bit more involved, but once again, it's something you can do yourself. If the bolts in your exhaust system have fallen out, you're going to want to get some 12mm grade 7 or higher bolts and reinstall them. Other than that, that's about it. Hope this video was helpful, and talk to you soon.